at different types of fraction questions with different types of signs in them. So let's take a look at the first question. It says 3 over 2 plus 4 over 5. So, and it has an addition sign, okay? So, which means that we have to add. So, in order to add fractions, you first have to make the denominator common. So, well, you can see the denominators are not the same. 2 is not the same as 5, right? So, you have to find the LCM of the denominators, which is equal to 10. 5 times 2 is 10. This is the LCM process, and then you get 10. So you multiply the denominator by a number that you will get 10 in the denominator, okay? So if you multiply 2 by 5, you get 10, okay? And if you do 5 times 2, you will get 10 in the denominator as well. So 10 equals this. But whatever you do with the denominator, you have to do the same thing with the numerator. So if you multiply by 5 here, you have to multiply the numerator by 5, which equals 15. And if you multiply this by 2, you have to multiply this by 2, which equals 8. Okay, so 15 plus 8 is 23. 23 over 10. So if you have seen the previous video, there are like different types of fractions, like improper fraction and proper fraction. So this is an improper fraction because the numerator is greater than the denominator. So in order to turn this into a mixed fraction, you divide. So 23 divided by 10, you get 10 times 2 is 20, and 3 in the remainder. So the remainder goes in the numerator. The quotient goes in the whole number place. And the divisor goes in the denominator. So this is what you got. You will get 2 as a whole number and 3/10. This is the answer for this question. Okay, let's look at the second question. It says 3/5 subtract 1/3. So we do the same process with addition and subtraction and fractions. We first find the common denominator. So the common denominator for these 5 and 3 is 15. As you can see, it says the LCM. So LCM equals 5 times 3, which equals 15. So 15, you multiply 5 by 3, you get 15. And you do the same with 3. You multiply 3 by 5, and you get 15. So whatever you do with the denominator, as I said earlier, you do the same with the numerator. So I multiplied 5 times 3 here. So I multiply 3 by 3 here. And also, if I multiply 3 to 5 here, I will multiply 1 to 5 here too. So if I multiply, I will get 9 subtract 5. And the denominator is 15. So we can only write 15, okay? Which does not matter. So 9 times 5 equals 4. And so the answer will be 4 over 15. We cannot turn this into a mixed fraction since the numerator is smaller than the denominator. So this fraction is a proper fraction. Let's look at another question. It's a multiplication question. It says 2 over 4 times 3 over 4. So, well, the way you did it in the addition and subtraction questions, it's not the same as this. It's not the same case in multiplication, because in multiplication, first you can just simply multiply them, the numerator with the numerator and denominator with the denominator. So 2 times 3 and 4 times 4. This is the method A, okay? So you will get 6 over 16. 2 times 2 is 6, 4 times 4 is 16. Well, if you look at it, you can actually simplify the question. If you multiply 2 times 3, you get 6. So you cross it with 3, and then 2 times 8 is 16. So the answer equals 3 over 8. Well, look at another method you can do with multiplying fractions. Well, it's the same, but as you can see, like if you look at the question, you can actually see that 4 is a multiple of 2. So you can cross out the multiple. So 2 times 1 is 2 and 2 times 2 is 4. That's what I did here. So 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4. So you will be left with 1 times 3 and 4 times 2. It will make the question easier for you to solve. So easily 3 times 1 is 3. So you multiply and you get this. And 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 2 is 8. So the answers are the same, and it depends on you, whichever method you want to use. So it's not that always in the multiplying fraction there are multiples of each number. So if that's the case, you can use method A. But if there are multiples, like you can cross out something, you can use method B. Let's look at the last question, question number 4. It's a division question, and we can see that it says 4 over 5 divided by 2 over 3. Now, in order to do division with fractions, we have to first convert the division sign to a multiplication sign, okay? So in order to do that, you take the reciprocal, okay? This is a method where you keep the first fraction, change the sign. The opposite of division is multiplication. So you change the sign from division to multiplication, and then you flip the last fraction, which is 2 over 3, so you flip it and make it 3 over 2, okay? So now you have the same like multiplication question here, right? So you can just simply multiply, which is like 4 times 3 is 12, 5 times 2 is 10. So 12 over 10, you can simplify it, as you can see it says. So 2 times 6 is 12, and you can cross 10 with 5 because 2 times 5 is 10. So you get 6 over 5, but you're like, oh, that's an improper fraction because the numerator is greater than the denominator. So you just do the division that we did here, right? And then you get 1/5. But you might be thinking that we can do the same method as B here, okay? Like we can cross out multiples here, right? We can. We can cross out this with 2 and this with 1. Because 2 times 1 is 2 and 2 times 2 is 4. Well, you will get the same answer because 2 times 3 is 6 and 5 times 1 is 5. So 6 over 5 you will get, and then you can just do the mixed fraction thing. You can remember this division strategy by this thing. It's called keep, change, flip, right? Keep, change, flip. So you flip, you keep the first equation, first fraction, change the sign, and flip the last fraction. And so this will help you remember this strategy. This strategy is called reciprocal. You take the reciprocal, but you can remember it by the keep, change, flip strategy.